Endeavor held their earnings call just the other day, going over their fourth quarter and full year results from 2022, and specifically their sports division, which mainly consists of the UFC and to a lesser extent the Professional Bull Riding Association, the PBR. Are you a consumer of any professional bull riding, Way?
I don't know if I've ever seen it. No.
These are the pillars of which Endeavor's sports division is upon, UFC and PBR. So the sports division brought in $301.4 million for the quarter, which was up 9% from the same quarter last year, and $1.3 billion in revenue for the division in 2022, which was up 20%. So this was a record year of revenue for both the UFC and PBR. So huge year for fighting and bull riding. This coming from Ari Emanuel. And they also stated that they expect to have the same number of UFC cards this year, but are planning more fight nights outside of the Apex, which has been this, it is not made for the greatest environments for fights, but it's a company-owned building, and thus they have not had to... You save all of this money by just running inside your venue, and you're making your rights fees by producing these cards. But I think there is a big compromise when it comes to the atmosphere that all these other, like every other form of sports and entertainment, are back in front of crowds. And then we get these Apex cards that take you right back to 2020. So I won't be sad to see the Apex cards be lower in number. Also noting it was their highest year of sponsorships in UFC history, and there was a statement, or at least a question asked about a potential WWE purchase. And Ari Emanuel stated, "As it relates to WWE, it's an unbelievable product. Vince, created a great business. We've had a long-standing relationship with them over 2 decades. We're doing on-location business with them, streaming business with them. His business is really valuable. But we're not going to do anything as it relates to changing our leverage position right now," which seemed to be a fancy way of him stating, too rich for our blood in this, which is pretty notable because I think Endeavor, of all the companies out there, they would have been on your short list. And if you're going based on the CNBC reporting from a few weeks ago that Comcast is they're not headstrong into the idea of this purchase of WWE. This is as public a statement as you're going to get from Ari Emanuel, and also goes against a statement from another Endeavor executive several months ago that had stated openly, like, yeah, we'd love to talk about WWE. It seems that now that it's a realistic buy for the company, that they seem to be standing away from this one and taking in WWE, even though there would be a lot of synergy with the UFC, and they know how to run a company like WWE because of their experience now for the last 6 years with UFC.
How much of this has to do with, do you think, Vince McMahon putting out there that he wants this for $9 billion?
I think the $9 billion is probably scared a lot of people off. Endeavor also has a huge amount of debt that they are operating within. They were able to pay off a significant amount of it in the fourth quarter, but it's a gigantic amount of debt that they have as well. So the idea of taking on a company like WWE, and if we're talking in excess of $8 billion, we're getting into $9 billion, which I think honestly, if we're talking $9 billion, I think we're almost down to one company, and that's the Saudi fund, unless you're going to get some very strategic partnership of various companies that could finance something even close to $9 billion. I would say that is, I would imagine that has scared some people off.
Has this news affected the stock at all?
The WWE stock?
Yeah.
When the $9 billion figure first came out, it did shoot up a little bit, but it has come back down. They're trading
more so for Endeavor, being out of the running, it seems.
Well, today WWE stock is down to 83.67, which is below what it has been trading around for the last month. Like, they had been hovering around 86, 87. So today, below $84. So
not that significant, though. It looks like
not significant, but I do sense that if if there is no significant inroads on the sale talks, like there is sort of, okay, if you're taking Comcast off the board and you're theoretically taking Endeavor off the board, like who are these buyers? And if all these candidates are sort of dropping out publicly, then who are going to be bidding for these rights? Or for the company, I mean.
Yeah, or none.
It could be none. It could be none.
Is that a more likely option after this?
I mean, I'm certain that in time we will look back and, you know, how that 9 billion figure gets out and what was the impetus behind that figure getting out. Was it designed to scare people off? They're going to have to make a decision, because if they're not selling the company in the next month or two, then they have to, like, this is the time that the television deals are getting solidified. Like it was spring 2019 when they finalized their deals with NBC and Fox the last time around. So we're right at that time that they would want to be, you know, hitting the fourth quarter of those negotiations. And if a Comcast is not buying, well, they certainly would like to retain Raw, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So that is the latest on the WWE and Endeavor.